It should be inarguable to say that Clyde Drexler was the second best shooting guard behind Michael Jordan over a 7, 8, maybe 9-year stretch from the late 80s to the mid 90s. Where he ranks all time among the best shooting guards is a great debate. We know MJ and Kobe Bryant are 1 and 2. It would be a stretch to say otherwise. If you consider Jerry West a shooting guard, he's probably third, although he played point guard for much of his career. Then there's a pack of other all-time greats, including James Harden, Dwayne Wade, Allen Iverson, Reggie Miller, and Drexler that deserve to be in the conversation for that fourth spot. George Gervin, if you want to include him in the shooting guard category rather than small forward, is in that discussion as well. Regardless of your own personal view of this, Drexler was a Showtime player during his heyday. The main things that stood out about him were his blend of elevation, body control, body adjustment, and shiftiness in the air. What we saw a lot from him were reverse layups, weaving in and out of traffic, and making difficult shots that followed him making sudden, quick movements to evade defenders. He was very acrobatic and would occasionally make circus-like shots. He was a great athlete with an ability to hang in the air after accelerating to the basket. Sometimes he was able to hang in the air long enough where he can drop a pass off to an open teammate rather than shoot over a rim protector. Nonetheless, here are more examples of Drexler's balance, coordination, and touch when driving in while looking like an acrobatic gymnast. He made a ton of scooping finger rolls in his career. As his nickname implied, he would just glide in and flip up shots with a high arc. There was a lot of Julius Erving in his game, as you can see from these examples. Although dunk totals weren't calculated during his prime, we know Drexler was among the league leaders in dunks. He was one of the best high flyers in that era. One could argue that after Jordan and Dominique Wilkins, he was the league's next best elevation athlete at that time. Drexler during his younger years had some of the most electrifying dunks in the league. He participated in the slam dunk competition during All-Star Weekend 5 times. His final year competing in it, which was 1989, he came in second behind Kenny Skywalker. Portland in the early 1990s played at a very fast pace. They were 4th in pace in the 1989-90 season, a year they made the finals, and 6th in 1991-92 when they made another finals appearance. Drexler was exceptional playing at a fast tempo. Another thing that stood out about Drexler was his hustle on the offensive end. He would crash the glass a lot and score on putbacks quite often. In the 1988-89 season, he averaged 3.7 offensive rebounds per contest, which were 7th most in the entire league that year, and most among guards. He also averaged over 3 offensive rebounds the prior year, 87-88, making him the only guard in league history to average over 3 offensive rebounds more than once. Magic Johnson did it once in 1981-82, and that's the full list. No other guards have ever averaged over 3 offensive rebounds in a season. In general, he was a great rebounder. He averaged at least 6 rebounds per contest in 12 of his 15 NBA seasons. Maybe underappreciated about Drexler was how clutch he was. He had several big shots late in games. including this fast break dunk following a steal against the Nuggets on April 14, 1985, this game-winning runner on March 22, 1994 against the Kings, this game-winning N1 layup in transition against the Celtics on January 6, 1995, this winning banked-in three-pointer against the Nuggets on April 9, 1995, and near the end of his career, this winning shot against the Timberwolves on December 10, 1996. Now, he had a bit of an unorthodox looking jumper, and his jump shooting on a general level I wouldn't say was one of his greatest strengths, but often he would take one dribble, usually going right, and then rise over the top of his defender anywhere between 15 and 20 feet out, and he did that with decent success. He was pretty good playing out of the post and hitting turnaround jumpers from there. We saw him play out of the post more later in his career, after he was dealt to the Rockets in 1995. And he had excellent vision and awareness from the post as a facilitator. He made terrific reads, which led to assists like these. In general, Drexler was an underrated passer and playmaker. He averaged at least 6 assists 4 times in his career, and in his third season, 1985-86, he averaged 8 of them per contest, 10th most in the league, and second most among shooting guards behind Reggie Theus. Here are some more clips of him making outstanding passes. Of course, back then the three-point shot was less utilized. The most threes Drexler took in a season was 408 in 1994-95, which was the year he split between Portland and Houston. That was 15th most in the league that season. To put that into perspective, last season, 2023-24, 408 three-point attempts would have been tied for 53rd most in the league. His best percentage from beyond the arc came that same year, when he knocked down 36% of his attempts. In 8 of his 15 seasons, though, he shot under 30% from downtown. So again, this wasn't something he excelled at, but he did mix it into his offensive package. Defensively, he had really fast hands and great anticipation. Portland made 2 NBA Finals in the early 90s, largely because of their defense, and Drexler was a big part of that. He led the Blazers in steals in each of those final seasons. He averaged at least 2 steals in 7 of his 15 NBA years. He was 4th in the league in steals during the 1988-89 season. Surprisingly, though, he never made an all-defensive team, although he did finish 8th in Defensive Player of the Year voting in 1987-88. All in all, Drexler was a 10-time NBA All-Star, made the All-NBA First Team once in 1992, which was the year he finished second behind Michael Jordan in MVP voting. He made the second team twice and the third team twice as well. He was also part of the 1992 USA Olympic Dream Team that won the gold in Barcelona. He's currently one of only 7 players all time to accumulate at least 20,000 points, 6,000 rebounds, and 6,000 assists in an NBA career. The others are LeBron James, Oscar Robertson, Kobe Bryant, James Harden, John Havlicek, and Russell Westbrook. In 1995, following the trade to the Rockets, he won his first and only NBA championship. So that'll wrap up this video. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe.